Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's good to have you back with us at Somaliland National Television. This is the English news with me, Muhammad Adan. Let's take a look at the main stories making headlines. Cultural leaders of Kabyle, Awdal and Salur regions condemned the statements made by the opposition figures. Director General of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Tourism attends a ceremonial event hosted by youths in Gaan district. Israeli military intensifies airstrikes in the Gaza Strip. The third business fair of Hargeisa International Business Fair has been held in the capital city of Somaliland, Hargeisa. The third business fair of Hargeisa International Business Fair has officially been held in the capital city of Somaliland, with the participation of several guests and executives of several local and regional businesses. Hundreds of businesses are participating in the business fair, which will continue a duration of several days. Minister of Commerce provided the opening remarks at the event. He stated that this business fair is a necessity for Somaliland and it is sought to promote businesses and in Somaliland. Goods displayed by all businesses included services by telecom companies, technology companies, car parts and automobile importing companies, and executives of all businesses were participants in the business fair. The Hargeisa International Business Fair has hosted a number of businesses from various countries across the region. The Director General of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Tourism, Mohammed Hussein Dabaye, attended a ceremonial event hosted by the youths in Gaan district. Director General of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Tourism, Dabaye, spoke to the youth, urging to continue cooperating with the Ministry of Youth and security agencies. The Director General stated that Ministry of Youth, Sports and Tourism will continue encouraging youths across Somaliland through means of increasing youth entertainment. The Director General also reiterated that youth should refrain from misdemeanors and promote stability across Somaliland by providing a dire cooperation on important areas, including security. Director General Mohammed Hussein Dabaye highlighted the ongoing efforts aimed to further enhance youth entertainment programs in order to ensure that youth are encouraged and are aware of the risks of drugs. Cultural leaders of several western regions of Somaliland condemned statements made by the opposition figures of Somaliland and urged them to take heed to the efforts taken by the current administration of Somaliland. The cultural leaders described the statements made by the opposition figures on the untoward move against the constitution with the main intention of creating civic disorder and social uprising. They stated that opposition figures are the checks and balance system by which every nation is able to boast equality, transparency and justice throughout governmental institutions, and that what opposition figures are calling on is unworthy of any social indulgence. They added that the critics against the current administration are not based on facts but are forces and fabrications that are made by individuals who became unpopular among the Somaliland community after the current administration, led by the incumbent President Ahmed Silani, has made more progress towards social development issues, infrastructure improvements of the economy and Somaliland's quest for international recognition. The cultural leaders stressed that the current government has long been recognized by the Government of Development, and apparently this is due to the steps taken by the government. One of the examples is the road linking Erigabo and Bur'o, hundreds of miles that the current government initiated to bridge the road linking the two cities to help develop the infrastructure and ease transport for the Somaliland citizens residing in those cities. The cultural leaders urged the opposition figures to come to the table of mediation and not look to creating social unrest, which is not in the interest of any side. They urged opposition figures to settle their differences and base their political motives on the constitution of Somaliland, through which they can and will eventually be gaining the political leverage they are seeking. Somaliland has enjoyed peace over 20 years. Since then, it encouraged the transpire of opposition figures who are able to challenge any administration and president on power that's behind by a meaningful objective, which is to ensure that the government remains at the whim of its citizens. You're still watching the English news on SLN TV, the only Somali-speaking channel within English news. And now for the main international headlines in detail. The Israeli military has resumed airstrikes targeted at civilian populated neighborhoods in the Gaza Strip, following the death of an Israeli child which was killed by a rocket fired from Gaza. The Israeli military continues airstrikes against populated neighborhoods of the city. Several people were killed and a number of others injured during the intensified Israeli airstrikes. The strikes caused the collapse of several buildings. Renewed strikes came following the death of an Israeli child that was killed in Israel by the rockets fired from Gaza by Hamas Islamists. Previously, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to retaliate the death of the Israeli child that ended up in the death of at least 11 Palestinians, while dozens more injured. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for joining. Join us at the same time tomorrow. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.